It was supposed to be the ultimate bargaining chip, a final, desperate card played by a duke who has realized that life outside the palace walls is far colder than he ever imagined. Prince Harry allegedly delivered a silent ultimatum to King Charles this week, a message that sent shockwaves through the corridors of Buckingham Palace. The message was simple, brutal, and chillingly clear: let me back in, or the war continues. But if Harry believed his father would crumble under the pressure of yet another public scandal, he made a catastrophic miscalculation. The king is not viewing this so-called peace offer as a negotiation. According to insiders, he's treating it like a crime scene. Because while Prince Harry is demanding his royal duties back, a legal storm has erupted over his head, one that threatens to strip him of far more than just his titles. We're talking about explosive allegations involving forged documents, witness intimidation, and alliances with convicted criminals, claims that have completely shattered his moral high ground. The door to the palace isn't just closed. It's been bolted, barred, and the locks have been changed. To understand why this ultimatum has enraged the king so deeply, we have to look past the PR spin and into the mindset of the Duke of Sussex. This is not the behavior of a statesman attempting to heal a family rift. Royal commentators are now openly describing Harry's actions as those of a delusional teenager throwing an epic tantrum because his allowance was cut off. He appears to believe he can dictate terms to a 1,000-year-old institution. His camp recently launched a massive media blitz, testing the waters for what he calls the Royal Reserve model. On paper, the pitch sounds harmless enough. I'll come back and help out while my father and sister-in-law recover. Friends of the prince have leaked that, despite the California sunshine and the Netflix deals, Prince Harry secretly misses the structure. He misses the salutes. He misses the VIP lanes. He has come to a hard realization about Hollywood: you're only as good as your last hit movie. But in Windsor, you matter simply because you exist. Harry looked at the health crises facing King Charles and the Princess of Wales and seemingly thought, they are weak. They need me. Inside the palace, however, the offer was viewed as a Trojan horse. The late Queen Elizabeth II made this crystal clear at the Sandringham Summit: you are either in or you are out. You cannot be a working royal in the morning and sign commercial deals selling family secrets to the highest bidder in the afternoon. Harry refuses to accept this reality. He believes that if he applies enough pressure, the king will bend. But the king isn't the only obstacle standing in his way. There is a much colder, harder wall he must climb: Prince William. Sources close to the Prince of Wales suggest the very idea of Harry returning to help is laughable to William. He doesn't see this Hafen model as a helping hand. He sees it as a toxic infection attempting to re-enter the bloodstream of the monarchy. The sentiment echoing through Kensington Palace is brutal. We would rather work double shifts for the rest of our lives than let him back in for a single day. And Harry wasn't offering his services purely out of goodwill. There was darker leverage at play. The so-called peace dossier he floated across the Atlantic contained a very specific pledge. Harry promised he would stop launching new legal actions against the UK press if his demands were met. On the surface, it looks like a ceasefire. Strip away the polite language, though, and what remains is a protection racket. Harry is essentially telling his father, give me my uniform and my security back, and I'll stop dragging the family name through the High Court. Refuse, and he'll keep suing, keep testifying, and keep generating headlines. It is a threat, plain and simple. Prince Harry knows that King Charles hates conflict. He is banking on his father's exhaustion. He believes the king will pay the price of admission just to make the noise stop. But there is a fatal flaw in this attempted blackmail, and the palace spotted it immediately. The offer is hollow. Harry's promise not to sue new media outlets is meaningless because he has already sued nearly every major media organization in Britain. He is running out of enemies to fight. It's like an arsonist promising not to start any new fires after he's already burned down the entire village. The damage is done. The bridges are ash. And by attaching conditions to his good behavior, Harry proved exactly why he cannot be trusted. He is treating his heritage like a business deal, negotiating with the crown as if it were a contract renewal. But while Harry was busy trying to strong-arm the king, He failed to notice the trap tightening around his own ankles. The legal war he started, the very one he is now using as leverage, is about to explode in his face. We are no longer dealing with simple family drama. This has entered the realm of a dirty war. Harry claims he is on a crusade to clean up the British media, to slay the dragons of misinformation. But to fight that war, reports suggest the Duke of Sussex has descended into the swamp himself. The latest developments in the High Court are nothing short of explosive. Harry's own legal team, the people representing a prince of the realm, have been accused of dishonesty, fraud, and conspiracy. These are words typically associated with organized crime, not royalty. The allegations include payments for sworn evidence and the deliberate creation of misleading email chains. In his desperation to win, Harry's camp may have crossed the line from aggressive litigation into potential criminal conduct. The most disturbing example involves a key witness named Gavin Burrows, a private investigator who was supposed to be Harry's star witness, the man meant to bring down the tabloids. But in a shocking twist no one saw coming, Burrows has turned. He now claims that a crucial witness statement bearing his name was a forgery. He alleges his signature was faked. Even worse, Burrows says he has been subjected to blatant intimidation. The situation is so volatile that his lawyers state Burrows fears for his safety and is seeking permission to give evidence remotely from a concealed location. Think about the gravity of that. A witness in a case involving Prince Harry is reportedly hiding in a safe location because he is terrified of the tactics being used against him. This isn't just a lawsuit anymore. This reads like a script straight out of a mob movie. And it raises an unavoidable question. How can Prince Harry claim to be the victim of unlawful behavior when his own team is being accused of the very same thing? But that wasn't the only revelation that left the palace disgusted. While Harry lectures the world from his Montecito mansion about moral corruption, he is actively working with the very people he claims to despise. Reports confirm that Harry's legal team engaged Graham Johnson. So who is Graham Johnson? He is a convicted phone hacker and a former journalist for the disgraced News of the World. This isn't an allegation, it's a matter of public record. Johnson has a criminal conviction for invading privacy. Yet Harry's team reportedly placed this convicted criminal on a monthly retainer worth thousands of pounds to dig up dirt. The irony is suffocating. Prince Harry, the man who says the press destroyed his life through phone hacking, is paying a convicted phone hacker to help him win his case. As one commentator brutally observed, Harry is now in the mud with the pigs. He has traded royal dignity for victory at any cost. King Charles understands a basic truth: you cannot present yourself as a champion of ethics while keeping a convicted criminal on your payroll. Harry thinks he's a warrior. The palace thinks he has lost his moral compass. And while Harry digs deeper into the dirt, his brother has chosen an entirely different path. To understand just how much ground Harry has lost, we need to look at the quiet masterclass in strategy being executed by the Prince and Princess of Wales. It's known as the Grey Rock Method. For those unfamiliar with the psychology, the Grey Rock strategy is used to deal with narcissists or chronic drama seekers. You become as dull, unresponsive, and uninteresting as a gray rock. You don't engage. You don't react. You simply exist, solid and unbothered. While Harry dominated headlines with fraud allegations and legal threats, Prince William was photographed doing something profoundly grounding. He was pruning trees during a farm visit, wearing a simple flat cap. No drama. No lawyers. Just duty. The contrast is devastating. On one side, a prince obsessed with his truth, relying on hackers and legal maneuvering. On the other, the future king, hands in the dirt, serving the community. And then there is Catherine. She stepped out to host the British women's rugby team at Windsor Castle. She drove herself there. She walked in carrying her own umbrella. There were no errors, no excuses, and no complaints. She was simply gracious, kind, and smiling. By flooding the zone with these quiet, keep calm and carry on vibes, Prince William and Catherine have rendered Prince Harry irrelevant. They've shown the world they don't need him. They are indifferent to him. And for a man who thrives on attention, indifference is the ultimate punishment. But the silence from the palace doesn't mean Harry is safe. In fact, it's deafening because they know he's walking straight into a trap of his own making, the perjury trap. Prince Harry is expected to take the stand in these legal battles. As legal experts have pointed out, it only takes one lie to become a perjurer. In the UK, perjury is a criminal offense that carries a potential prison sentence. Harry's version of events, his truth, has often differed wildly from objective reality. But in a court of law, my truth is not a legal defense. He will be cross-examined by some of the most ruthless forensic lawyers in the world. They will tear apart every inconsistency between his memoir and his testimony. They will probe every memory lapse, every contradiction. The royals are reportedly terrified that Harry could perjure himself on the global stage, dragging the monarchy into a criminal investigation. And this leads to the potential constitutional crisis the mainstream media is largely ignoring. Prince Harry remains a counselor of state, a critical role that authorizes him to act on behalf of King Charles if the monarch is incapacitated. It is a position that demands absolute integrity and an unblemished legal standing. If Harry is tied to a court case involving fraud, dishonesty, and professional misconduct, or worse, if he is found to have perjured himself, his position becomes untenable. How can the king allow a man accused of conspiring with criminals and relying on forged documents to act as his deputy? This is the poison chalice Harry has brewed for himself. He wanted to use the courts to force his father's hand. He wanted to prove he was the hero. Instead, he has exposed himself as a man willing to win by any means necessary. King Charles's refusal to meet him is no longer just personal. It is protective. King Charles knows that Prince Harry is now radioactive. Any association with him, while these fraud allegations continue to swirl, would contaminate the crown itself. Harry believed this lawsuit would be his victory lap. Instead, it is beginning to look like his political funeral. As the heavy oak doors of Buckingham Palace bolt shut, we are left watching a tragedy of Shakespearean proportions. Prince Harry gambled everything on a dirty war and a secret peace dossier. He thought he could blackmail the king into submission. He believed he could reclaim his place as a so-called royal reserve by promising a ceasefire. But he forgot the most fundamental rule of power. You cannot negotiate with the crown when your hands are dirty. This is the poison chalice Harry has brewed for himself. And to fully understand the panic likely setting in behind the scenes in Montecito, we have to follow the money. Because while the headlines scream about peace and reconciliation, insiders suggest the real motivation behind this sudden U-turn is financial survival. Harry is discovering that the cost of being a prince in exile is astronomical. When he left the UK, he didn't just lose his honorary military titles. He lost the state-funded security apparatus that once protected him around the clock. Security experts estimate that keeping Harry, Meghan Markle, and their children safe in the United States costs millions of dollars a year, a bill Harry now has to cover out of his own pocket. By offering to return as a royal reserve, Harry isn't just asking for a role. He is almost certainly fishing for the return of his royal security status. If he is working for the crown pays for his protection. It's a brilliant, if completely transparent, attempt to offload his single largest expense back onto the British taxpayer. But there is a massive emotional roadblock standing in the way of this financial rescue plan, one Harry underestimated entirely: Queen Camilla. In his memoir, Spare, Harry didn't merely burn bridges, he scorched the earth, especially around his stepmother. He painted her as a villain and accused her of sacrificing him on her personal PR altar to rehabilitate her public image. Sources close to King Charles have indicated that this was the fatal blow. King Charles is a father who might, in time, forgive a wayward son for insults directed at him. But he is also a husband who will reportedly never forgive the public humiliation of the woman he loves. By attacking Queen Camilla, Prince Harry crossed a red line that no peace dossier can uncross. You cannot demonize the Queen Consort in a global bestseller and then expect to be invited over for tea at Highgrove. The king's loyalty to his wife is absolute, and Harry's attacks on her have hardened Charles's heart in a way that mere policy disagreements never could. And while Harry is fighting battles on two fronts, legal and familial, observers have noticed a strange and sudden silence from the other half of the Sussex brand. Where is Meghan Markle? In the past, they were a package deal. Salt and pepper, as they famously called themselves, always moving together. But recently, Meghan has been conspicuously absent from Harry's legal dramas and his push to return to the UK. Brand and strategy experts believe we may be witnessing a quiet brand divorce. While Harry remains stuck in the mud of the past, fighting old battles with tabloids and his family, Meghan appears to be pivoting toward the future with her lifestyle venture, American Riviera Orchard. It raises a burning question. Has she realized that Harry's obsession with the past is a sinking ship? By stepping back, Meghan shields her own image from the fallout of Harry's potential perjury or legal defeat. Harry is left alone on the battlefield, looking increasingly isolated, not just from his family in London, but possibly even within his own home in California. He is the one taking the hits. He is the one facing the witness stand. And he is the one whose reputation is truly on the line. This isolation leads to the final looming threat, one that could take the decision entirely out of King Charles's hands. Parliament. There is a growing murmur among British MPs that if the King will not strip Prince Harry and Meghan Markle of their titles, the government should. A bill has already been proposed that would grant Parliament the authority to remove titles from royals who actively undermine the institution. Harry believes he is playing a game of chess with his father. What he has forgotten is that the board belongs to the British people. If public outrage over his legal tactics and alleged blackmail grows loud enough, the government could step in to protect the integrity of the monarchy. Imagine the humiliation, not losing your title in a private conversation with your father, but having it stripped by an act of parliament, broadcast live on television. That is the cliff edge Prince Harry is dancing on. He is pushing the institution until it breaks, unaware that when it finally snaps, it will be the institution that survives, not him. Prince Harry wanted to be a hero. Instead, he has become a cautionary tale. Reputation takes a lifetime to build, but only one dirty alliance to destroy. Now, the final judgment belongs to you. Do you believe King Charles should take the final step and strip Prince Harry of his remaining titles to protect the monarchy from these fraud allegations? Or does Harry deserve one last chance? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And if you believe that character matters more than titles, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. The King has spoken. The door is closed.